So, AJ Dubois, like the fight was as those fireworks had been before the fight. It was all fireworks. A great fight, a great fight. But a couple of things were odd at the beginning to me, like why Dubois, being the champion, had to walk the ring walk first, like, and a couple of other things favoring Joshua as well in the fight. I'll come to that later. So anyway, a great fight. And that's why I've been abstaining from any predictions, because like I was in Dallas. The problem I had with Dubois, he was fast with his hands on the offense, but he was kind of slow on his defense. That's a strange thing about him. Like in his previous two fights, Big Baby Miller touched him up a lot, and Hergovich also landed that right hand, but not only right hand, the jab and 1-2s. Hergovich being not the biggest like combination, I mean in terms of output combination powers, but his combinations are well set, like 1-2s, left, straight, right, or both of the both hooks from him as well. So a couple right straights landed, and and that's the same about Dubois. Usyk toyed with him. I think um, I think he was not up to the level of Usyk then. Now it's an intriguing fight after on the back of his tonight's win over AJ. But anyway, and the thing about AJ now, I want to come back to all those who were criticizing AJ after his loss to Ruiz, that he fights cautiously. In his second fight, where he won comfortably using his technique and footwork and stuff, and people were still criticizing him that he's not the same. He lost the killer instinct. That's why he was fighting that fight like that. He came into this fight overconfident. I'm sure if he employed the same tactics that he did against Ruiz in his second fight, this fight would have been a different fight. I'm not saying that he would have won, but he would have had a bigger chance of winning, and I think maybe he would have won. But anyway, so in this fight he came overconfident, and Dubois was able to catch him early on, and again, had he employed that same tactic that some of his fans were saying it's a humiliating like tactics. AJ is a killer. He shouldn't like run away and so on and so on. But he should have done exactly like that. Just a couple of rounds, let run away. Try, like stay away from that jab. Stay away from that right hook, right hand, right straight. Stay away. Just use your footwork. I still think like long range AJ is much more technical fighter than Dubois, and Dubois was catching him with jabs. I'm not sure what was the plan, but anyway, and another point, like all those guys who were saying like AJ is the best fighter in the world right now on the back of his fights with Ngannou and Otto Walling, that's what also played against AJ, complacency and the fans' opinion. They're saying, oh, now he beats Usyk easily, and Fury as well. He's the best fighter of the world, and so on and so on. That's a bad narrative, okay? Because those two fights, this did him wrong. Like Ngannou speed, like the guy who had his second professional fight, and Dubois, who had been training like since he was a kid. He's seasoned like athlete, and his whole life revolves around boxing. Technically, theoretically, mentally, and so on. It's not like an MMA guy who just shifted for a couple of fights, and that's what did him wrong. He got used to the speed and sluggishness on Ngannou, or even Otto Walling. It's a good fighter, but still, it's like tailor made for AJ, tall and kind of like like those Charles Martin wins and so on, like the guy who's also trying to find his range and so on, and he's not who's not the fastest guy among the heavyweights. So those two fights were easy wins for Joshua, and it set him in a different protocol, in a different mode in terms of speed, and he came over confident against Dubois. Everyone was saying, "Oh, we like how AJ is how confident AJ is, and so on." So the fight just played against him, and Dubois was able to catch him early. And there's a thing about AJ. Once he gets caught, he's kind of like he's there, like he's sticking his tongue out. He's like his face looks okay, his eyes looks okay, but his legs are gone, and he's like not able to do anything. Maybe because of his like bodybuilding thing. That's taking something out of like your mind is there, but your body is not following. Because he completely like is lost, and then he starts to recover and is able to throw some of the shots, and that's how he was able to catch Dubois. But that was another problem for him. He caught Dubois, but he wasn't there. He had been hurt before he hurt Dubois, and he was still hurt, and he was like that killer instinct like kicked in, and it's a bad thing. Like, yeah, he's like, oh, finally I have major success, first time in this fight. Dubois is wobbly, like, and he went like just like that. I'm gonna finish him with his hands down, and his like reaction time is also slowed down by being hurt before that thing. And Dubois, all it needed, just a beautiful counter, a face shirt, right hand, right on the chin, and the fight's over. Uh, so again, to those all those people who are saying, "Oh, use your size, use your whatever," that's sometimes the outcome when you try to do exactly that. I'm addressing all those who are saying like, why Jay didn't win against Usyk a couple of times. Use your size, bully him, and so on and so on. That it's easier said than done. Same thing with Tyson Fury. Oh, we don't understand why they're fighting Usyk this way. They're all like, come on, use your size and so on. Well, it doesn't work it in a straight in a straightforward way like that. But again, there were a couple of things that were said for Joshua, like for example that third knockdown when there was a clear punch from Dubois, and then Jay's gloves touched the ground, and and he immediately was back on his feet, but referee let him continue, although by all the rules it was a knockdown. His gloves touched the canvas after the fight, and as a result, after the punch, and as a result of the punch, and but somebody in this like ring announcing, counting like assistant assist, he was like counting out loud, like probably trying to give AJ some recovery time, so the fight is stopped for the knockdown. AJ recovers, and again it played down against AJ. He should have like taken, it's like an equivalent of taking a knee, but you don't take a knee. The referee, like, there's no blame for you, like you took a knee, like the ref stops it for the knockdown. Anyway, it didn't happen. He absorbed more punishment until the end of the round. By the way, he was lucky the round ended, because the fight would have stopped then and there. And then there was a moment when I thought the fight was stopped, when AJ was all over the place, falling like a couple of times in the round, and the ref was waving like the fight was off, but he was waving that there was no knockdown, it was a slip. So that was odd and strange, and I thought to myself, if the fight continues and AJ wins, is able to recover somehow, there's gonna be a controversy, obviously, like letting him off the hook, and he was able to do that. Again, he was like unlucky when he heard Dubois. It seems like he did the right thing. He jumped on him, but